Okay folks, Shimmy Damper, BMW LT 1200, 40 miles an hour, got the shimmy. So what I did was I followed the video online by Chris in the Illinois BMW group. I've had this wheel off already, but there's a few pieces that I wanted to just add. I am by far no way a qualified mechanic, but I'll tell you what I did. And this is more for a learning curve. I ended up at the BMW motorcycle shop in Fort Lauderdale 3-4 times, ordered parts, wrong parts, exploded diagram. As it turns out, actually I'll just go through what I ordered finally. Okay, the bushings. My bushings were well and truly perished. There are the two bushings which sit either side. That's these two guys here. So they were perished. And then there is the bushing that sits when you push that up through the bottom, and that sits, actually there's the other one there, it's right there. I wonder if you can see that bushing. So I replaced the three bushings. When you go to BMW and they explode out the diagram of the shimmy dampener, that upper bushing, well, certainly in my experience with the dealer, we couldn't work out what part number it was. So as it turned out, to cut a long story short, the part number is that the 7677987. That is there. That's for the left and the right with that that one there. The top one is the exact same, 7677987. So, and that's the one which sits, one of these little rings that sits in there, and then when you put it all together, that's the part you screw down, that sits down into it, and the shimmy dampener is on top of that. So just for more clarification, I kind of learned as I went. The tools that I've used to get, I got this shimmy dampener off with the wheel on. I had done it before, so I knew what I was to expect. That's a Torx. It is a T30. That's the T30, goes up there. That's what takes that bolt out. And then this one here, I took that out with this little guy here. That is come on, an S26 or an S2, actually an S2. There's a small 6 in there as well, so it's either a 2 or a 26, one or the other. That fits in there. So between the two of them, you can get the shimmy dampener off with those two tools and out here. The next problem I had with the shimmy dampener off, I could not get these two things separated. It was driving me insane because the non-marring device, I just didn't want to scratch this chrome part. Ooh, there we go. So I got onto Amazon, as we all do, for the non-marring blocks. I got two of these. Where is the other one? And I was going to put them, or I did try and put them in here, closed it in. Two of them on each side, closed it in, tried to get the turn. Could not get the turn. It just wouldn't turn for me. So, and then I'm thinking, oh, fuck, maybe I'll just try it put it back in with the new bushings. Maybe that'll take the shimmy out of it. Well, guess what? It didn't. I put it all back together, jumped on the bike, down the road, 42 miles an hour, shimmied off again. Unbelievable. So, came home, took it apart again, and I just thought, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. From Harbor Freight Tools, there is that little groove in there, and I was just so against doing this, but I was right at that point of, here, you know what? If I have to buy a new one, I will. So I put it in there. I snugly closed in on it without really biting hard on it. And just as Chris says in his video, I gave it a twist up on this end and it broke away. So to me, that's a huge plus. So now I am going for round 2 here. I am going to, actually, if you want to have a look at that, or the visual on that is, I hope the camera can pick that up. So it breaks away real easy. It's just 2 pieces of threaded tube or cylinder put together. And there is the fork oil that came out. You can see there is debris in it. And there's a piece of crap in there, which is kind of significant. So I'm hoping that, as he said on his video, Lucas Synthetic Fork Oil Light 5 weight. I bought that in O'Reilly's for $6.99, I believe. So the second part of my project is now going to be, I'm going to just make sure that that shimmy dampener is completely emptied into that. I'm going to get the fork oil into it. I'm going to flush it out 1 or 2 times because there's, you know, there's 30 fills or 40 fills and that relative to that. So I'm going to make sure that's clean, no debris. And then it's actually quite easy to put back together. That's only relative to having taken it apart before, and I was quite intimidated by it. Thought, oh fuck, it'll never go back together again the same way, but it did. It's very straightforward, nothing dramatic. All that being said, I will press pause on this. I'll reassemble all of this, put it back in the bike, take the bike out and give it a test. Hopefully that shimmy will have gone away. Who knows? That bike only has, or had 13,000 miles on it. It's a 2005. I bought it about 3 weeks ago over in Los Angeles. Rode it back over to Fort Lauderdale. They're brand new tires on it, front and back. Tire pressure was perfect. As per on the side saddlebag or pannier, off the top of my head, is it 36 cold, 38 cold in the front. But at 38 to 43 miles an hour, you could feel it in your hands that it was shaking. Take your hands off and it went into the dead wobble. So that was my experience with it. I'll keep you updated after I put this thing together.